Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe, and you're listening to Climbing in Heels for your weekly dose of glamour, inspiration, and, of course, fun. It's that time of year when wedding season has officially begun, and all the what should I wear questions start rolling into my DMs. And instead of focusing on bridal fashion, which can be very personal and specific, I thought this week I would focus on what to wear as a wedding guest. Back to help me is my ever, always amazing, dazzling, beautiful producer, Mary Elizabeth. So let's dive right into wedding season styling. And by the way, the fact that she thinks we won't talk about bridal gowns is crazy. So we will touch a little on the bride.
I mean, let's just kick it off then. 'Tis the season for the wedding invites to be rolling in. I am in this season of my life where I'm past the 6 to 7 wedding commitments a year or summer.
My nephew has 11 weddings this year, and actually all destination.
Yes. I think from the ages of like 26 to 32, I couldn't afford a vacation because I was attending as many weddings as I could.
Can you make them vacations though? Like,
if they're a destination wedding, you can definitely tack on a day or two before or after.
But it's also the time of your life where you're working, like you can't just take time off unless you're
let's be honest, like if it's in Napa, like am I going to burn a day off to be in Napa?
Right. Maybe.
If I don't really want to be in Napa, you know?
Right. Totally.
So you're at the mercy of wherever you've been invited to,
but
which is great.
Destinations that I'm hearing now are like all over Italy, every budget, by the way. They're not, what I'm actually told is it's weirdly more cost effective very often to do destination. I don't know how.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe you just keep the number so small.
Yeah, well, it's an edit
that
for
it's,
sure.
Yeah, it's going to eliminate some.
Maybe
but then
that's why.
But again, you and I were just talking about this. It's when you have big life events, it's shocking who you invite that you think are absolutely shoo-ins that can't or aren't able to come. And then the people on the list that are, maybe not as priority will show up and have the best time.
100%.
So you never know. True. But wedding season is here. Everyone has RSVP'd. There's a lot of questions always on social media for you this time of year about not only the brides, but wedding guests mostly.
It's a tough conversation because there's so many variables, and I've seen it go wrong.
Yeah,
I've seen on more than 10 occasions the guest showing up in white, which to me is common sense, but like maybe it's not. And it's funny. Someone texted me a picture. They were in Palm Beach and they were texting me what I thought of something to go to a wedding in Palm Beach. And it was white with like metallic, like fringe and crystals and whatever. And I'm like, but it's white. She's like, yeah, but it's not because it has so many crystals and stuff. I'm like, no, still white.
The bride, let me tell you what, the bride won't care. It'll be white to her.
Still white.
Okay, so to lay the scene, I want you to talk a little bit about your wedding because there's actually a few questions I don't think I know about your wedding.
I don't believe that, but okay, let's pretend.
No, for sure.
Okay.
You got married in an Isaac Mizrahi gown.
I did.
That was not a bridal gown? Is that right?
No, not a bridal gown. No. This is a very true story, very factual story, because it's so me, because the way that you know me now, it will make perfect sense to exactly who I am and how I approach these things. Rodger and I had a very long engagement because I was such a workaholic. And I just kept going later this year. Little how I did with having kids.
You were kicking the can down the road.
Kicking the can down the road. And we were living in New York City, living our best big 20-somethings, working 24/7, both of us.
Yeah.
And living these big, busy lives and no time to do anything responsible that was personal. And so I remember very clearly how it happened. We were engaged for many years. And my mother called me one day and said, guess what? It was like September.
Uh-huh.
And she said, the Rainbow Room is available February 15th.
Oh.
And I said, and she said, I think that's a perfect time to get married. And I was like, Mom, it's going to be freezing. There's going to be a blizzard. It's going to be gray. Who wants to get married in the winter? That seems crazy. It's very romantic. It's beautiful views, blah, blah, blah. I'm booking it. Great. Okay, Mom. All right, Mom. And so at that point, I basically said, Mom, I'll get my dress and I want Preston Bailey to do my flowers.
Yep.
I'm going to give him direction on flowers. You can do the rest.
That's it.
And that was it. And I showed up at my wedding.
This is what you were born for, Mom. Go. Go fly.
Well, at that point, I think Rodger and I were like, can we escape to St. Bart's? Because the drama of the families and all the things was just so much for us at the time. And, but my dress story, true story, is that before our wedding, when we got engaged, he proposed to me on my birthday. Mm-hmm. He proposed to me on my birthday. Admittedly, I was very hungover because he had thrown me a surprise birthday party, an epic surprise birthday party the night before in Manhattan where we were living with all our friends. And it was a party as it was in New York City.
Absolutely.
Still is, but different. Anyway, and the next day we were going out to the Hamptons and we were on the Jitney, which if you're East Coast, you know what the Jitney is. It's the bus that you take out to the beach. And so I was feeling awful. I was like dead. I really was like, I just want to climb under a rock and take like Tylenol.
And that bus ride.
And you know I get so motion sick. It was not cute.
It was touch and go, probably.
It was.
Yeah.
But I was reading, of course, the Bible. I was reading Vogue.
Yes.
On the Jitney, and on the cover was Amber Valletta and Shalom Harlow. And for those listeners that don't know, they were two of the very biggest supermodels of that time. Still are, by the way, I'd like to say, hence the term super. And they were both in these unbelievable ball gowns.
Yep.
And as Rodger was sitting next to me on the Jitney, and I didn't know this, but he had my engagement ring in his pocket.
Oh.
I did not know. And I said, honey, when we get married, I want to wear this dress in white.
Right.
And Amber was wearing it in red. Mm-hmm. And it was just the perfect, most classic, beautiful, like corseted ball gown. It was just so simple.
Right.
And she just looked so effortless and beautiful in it. And I just was like, this is what I want. And literally, lo and behold, that night, unbeknownst to me, and with a brutal hangover and very grumpy, he drove to chase the sunset out to East Hampton Point and took me for a walk to see the sunset on the pier before dinner, even though I tried to cancel dinner. I tried to cancel the sunset. Yeah. I was so grumpy. I was like, I feel sick.
You're like, if you give me a piggyback ride,
literally.
I'll go.
I turn around as I'm like bitching and moaning, and I turn around and he's on his knee. Aww. Proposing. And literally that very next morning, I called Isaac Mizrahi and I said, I know this sounds crazy. My friend at the time who was working for Isaac, and mind you, this was in Isaac's like unzipped era.
Oh
like
my God,
he was the king. Not that he's not now, but different. And he was just Isaac. Like I don't even know how else to explain it. He was so extraordinary and still is. And I said, is there any world that I can get this dress made in white for my wedding? And I got put on hold. On hold. He goes, hold on. And he got back on the phone after like literally like 10 minutes. I felt like I was on hold forever. And he got back on. He's like, okay, I need 3.5 months. I don't have time for too many fittings, but my wedding dress is spread fertility. That's what he said.
What?
Yes. And I was like, great. And literally that was it. I never looked at another dress. I never tried on another dress.
Yeah, you were locked in.
Got the dress like, I really was, I think I finally tried it on like a month before my wedding. It's just typical me.
So you.
I couldn't approach styling myself any more different than I do styling clients.
Oh, I know.
It's bizarre.
I know.
I don't know what else to say.
Yes.
But that was the tale of my dress.
Rachel doesn't know what she's wearing until about 90 seconds before her body leaves the house to go to said event.
I can't commit. I should also tell you that my dress got completely destroyed.
Did it?
Oh my God. I mean,
just from like dancing, partying, or like trudging through snow.
Partying. Like rolling on the dance floor. Like we were at the after hours till 4:30 in the morning. Like I just remember being like barefoot. I remember tearing the dress.
Do you
at
still
the
have
bottom.
it somewhere?
Nobody knows where it is.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Not even your mom?
No. Nope. Especially my mom. It has moved so many times with their houses and
Oh no.
could be lost in a flood.
I bet
don't
we'll
know.
find it. It'll get unearthed one day. Okay, so this is the question I actually don't know.
Okay.
And I don't know what you wore if you did this.
Okay.
Did you have a bachelorette party? And if so, what did you wear? Bachelorette parties now, all of the events leading to the wedding are such a thing for brides and bridal parties,
They
I
really
would say. But did you have a bachelorette party? You did?
My friends forced me to have one. I didn't want to have one because I'm not a bridey bride.
No. Yeah, she's
So
anti-bride.
I'm
But
just
and
not-
especially then.
Oh, I was even worse then.
Yeah.
I was even worse then. I was too busy.
Too busy.
I was like,
It causes you too much anxiety.
yeah, and I worry about everyone having a good time and strippers and all the things that go with like bachelorettes and like, it's all
Same.
very.
I'm the same. I was so scared of a man dancing.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And so my friends literally planned this trip. We went to South Beach, Miami, which was the place at the time, still is, even more so now probably. But then in the heyday of like Gianni Versace days and supermodels, like South Beach, Miami was the place. And so we went and there was all these actors there. We went to this place called like Groove Jet. We stayed at the Delano. Like it was Miami.
And it was for a full weekend. Fine. Okay.
2 nights, all girls.
What did you wear? Did you dress like
probably like sluttier.
provocative?
For me. Yeah. But, I think at that time I probably was, for me. It's funny. I blacked it out.
Yeah.
Really. I do remember.
You might have been black.
I do remember dancing with Matt Dillon.
Oh.
He was shooting Something About Mary.
No way. That's iconic.
Wait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shot in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. That's hysterical.
And
how weird and cyclical you would work with Cameron. Not
it was honestly
That's really
surreal.
funny.
Very soon after, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's weird.
I know.
Okay, so you don't remember one specific look in Miami. You just think you probably wore something short.
Sequins, white.
Well, duh.
I remember sequins, and I remember at that time, everything I wore was off the shoulder.
Really?
But like hanging off the shoulder, like
Sure.
flash tancy.
Okay.
So like even if I was in a mini dress, it was
Okay.
off my shoulder.
Got it. We were draping. We were showing clavicle. Was Pamela there?
She must have been because she was living there. Yes, she had to have been.
Oh, I need to have
Why
a glass
is
of
my-
wine with Pamela and have her tell me all the dirt.
But why is my whole life a blur?
I don't, because you sleep 4 hours a night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I've been married 26
Right.
years.
Yeah. We are going back. Okay. Next question. Did your mother make you have a bridal shower?
Oh my God, she did.
Okay.
I hated it so much.
What was the vibe? Where was it?
It was at this place by Gramercy Tavern, like
Okay.
down in
Yeah.
like it was like a Daniel Boulud place or something.
sounds about right.
Yeah, it was very lady,
Yeah.
and it was very gifts,
Yep.
flowers everywhere.
Yep. Tea
It
sandwiches.
was for my mom. It was
course.
for my mom. It was lady and girly and all the things, and I just remember being like, I have a fitting. Like I'm like the opposite of Bridezilla.
This is why you don't have any memories. Because you're sitting in your own bridal shower, out of your body, thinking about styling some model for a job.
I was.
100%.
I was. And at that time, I think that was like my Enrique Backstreet Britney
Right.
time, but also like, as you said, the supermodel time. So
It was crunch time.
Yeah. And I think like I was so young and everything was a yes. It
Yeah.
was like, if I don't take this job,
Yeah,
I'm
of
never
course,
working
of course,
again.
yeah.
And so I think there was that. And it was sort of like, but I did have fun. I had a great time at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like in hindsight, I remember being like, that was fun.
Right.
Like that was epic. Like, some people like forget to have fun.
Right. You made sure to have fun.
I made sure to have fun but I was panicky. I was really panicky. I know that's shocking to you, but
Right.
I was panicky because it sort of scared me a little bit to get married,
Mm-hmm.
like the psychology of marriage scared me, which is weird because my parents have been married like 50
Yeah.
million years. But my sister was married young. And I think the way I saw my sister, who's now divorced for 20 years,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is my life over? Like, does the fun
Right.
end? Do I have to change everything? And I think once I realized that wasn't the case, I made such peace with it. I was like, wow, this is actually so fun. And I like love him more now. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Well, I think it did the opposite, where it maybe like gave you a consistency in your life because everything else was
Right.
going 100 miles an hour
True.
in 100 different directions. So like having Rodger as an anchor throughout your whole,
Yes.
I mean, you're basically your whole adult life.
Human anchor, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think that like gave you the, you know, the courage and the foundation to take more risks and you know, move your life around more. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, nothing in my life was stable. So,
True.
Yes.
True.
Nor is it now.
Rehearsal. Did you have a rehearsal at the Rainbow Room?
We did. No, we did a rehearsal dinner
Okay.
2 nights before at the Bowery Bar.
Okay.
It was
Wait,
so much
so
fun.
you and Rodger didn't do like a rehearsal with the rabbi with all of that? Or did you?
I think so.
Interesting.
I feel like we kind of winged it.
Did you?
I don't think that we did. I think it was like I think I was confused. I think we did like a mini rehearsal, like a quick.
Like a blocking rehearsal?
Like you walk, basically, like you walk
You stand here
yeah.
and then you do this. Yeah.
Literally. And I'm sure that I was confused. I was very clear that my dad was walking me down.
Sure.
I was very clear that my wedding was for my dad. You know, listen, I get it now as a parent.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get it then.
Yeah.
But I get it now that when you're literally passing your child to another person, you better freaking be excited.
Yeah.
Because I really, since I've had my kids, I'm like, I've been thinking about it since they were babies. What if I don't love the woman that steals these children from me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Suck.
It would suck.
It would suck.
It would suck. We have so much more to worry about before we get there, though.
Like what to wear?
Like, I just can't even think about them getting their driver's license, to be honest with you.
I'm not letting them get their driver's license. I'm driving them everywhere.
Skylar, look out. You had a rehearsal dinner at a bar 2 days before the wedding, and didn't something happen? Didn't you get like a...
No, that was even stupider.
Okay.
So I do have this list of don'ts. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I really believe in, now that I've done 14 million events since my wedding,
Yeah.
hosted, you know, like I've thrown them, I've attended them, I've been hired for them. Like
Yep.
I can tell you, before a big event, never change anything. Never do something you've never done before. It is
Okay.
the dumbest thing. And
Like-
I did
like
too.
what?
Well, I cut bangs
Oh, that's right.
3 days before my wedding, which literally was the dumbest. I look back at pictures and I'm like, I have middle parted to the side bad bangs, like a 5-year-old girl that chopped her own bangs. Like that's how bad it was.
In the world of bangs, there are worse bangs than what you had.
They were not good.
But
They were no Bardot bangs. Like these were
Yeah,
not like
that's-
Goldie
that's
Hawn's
what you were-
bangs. These were
that's-
not Sienna Miller's bangs.
That was I see where that could have been the inspo. And okay, wow. So you cut bangs.
I cut bangs.
That's not like you.
No.
Okay.
I also was at a big party at a club a couple nights before. So our rehearsal dinner, we did our wedding was on a holiday weekend. It was like President's Weekend.
Oh, right.
So it was a Sunday night because no one had work on Monday.
Oh, cool.
Which was great.
Yeah.
It was a long weekend in New York City, so everyone was excited. We did our rehearsal dinner the Friday night.
Got it.
The Thursday night, one of our party throwing friends, like club promoter, club owners, was having an epic like fashion event.
Ooh.
Which in your 20s,
You say
go
yes to everything.
and you say
Of
yes to
course.
everything. So we went,
And
and I just recall waking up on the Friday morning of my rehearsal dinner with all these people in town visiting and my parents, like 5 million friends. And I just remember waking up to, from tip to shoulder, a henna tattoo wrapped in saran wrap. Because I guess when they put them on you
Yeah.
at the club,
in the dark.
in the dark, they recommend
So it doesn't like bleed or transfer.
Exactly. Because when you get a henna tattoo, the idea is that you want it to last,
Sure.
not when you're wearing a sleeveless bridal gown.
So you basically gave yourself, or someone gave you, an entire sleeve of henna tattoo.
A sleeve.
3 days.
I was David Beckham. Like I had a sleeve. I had a sleeve.
Are there any photos of this?
I can't imagine. It was before digital. Like, I mean, yes, but like where?
We have, it's my life's mission to find a photo of you. Not only is it ridiculous that you would have that on any day of any week, but 3 days before your wedding is hilarious.
I think it was in the Madonna era of when she did the, whatever the video is with,
yeah, I kind of
it's
know
not
what
Justify My Love, but there's one where she does like her whole. Oh, it's like the shanty.
Yeah.
Like I think she has a henna tattoo. I was fully Madonna like obsessed for 20 years.
How did you get it off?
I didn't. It doesn't come off.
Okay.
So the makeup artist came, as you can imagine. I told her to bring some extra cover up.
God.
And she used like what you put on people that got in like car accidents.
Like burn.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then covered from tip to shoulder. And then I had to put on, so I stood like this to let the body makeup dry. But then I forgot I was wearing gloves, like to here.
Right.
White gloves.
Right.
I was like a hot mess bride when I look back at it.
That is really funny.
And I did end up having a great time.
You had a great time.
But, you know, we walked into the Grateful Dead and, you know.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
There you go. Okay. Well, that's about your amazing, hilarious, funny experience.
But now if I was getting remarried now, or if I was renewing my vows to my current husband, I would wear Jean-Baptiste. His new bridal collection is like a fairy tale dream. And
literally looks like Tool heaven.
I can't.
Beautiful.
I just can't. And get married at Hotel Ducat, because why not?
That reminds me of
Sophia Richie.
Yes.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, bridal. I mean, I have a little question here about bridal muses for you, so let's hold off. But I mean, Sophia Richie's wedding literally was stunning. Okay, let's jump into some questions people have about going to weddings. They've been invited. Sometimes there's, you know, attire listed. Sometimes there's not. So let's just break it down. What does cocktail attire mean? If the wedding invite says cocktail attire, what does that mean?
I think cocktail means they want you to dress up.
Right.
Like, please dress up. Don't look regular.
Yep.
This is not a regular day. Please dress up for us. But like, feel free to wear short. Like, to me, when I hear cocktail, it means you can wear short. It means you can wear any length.
Of dress.
Yes.
Okay.
It means you can wear any length of dress. It means you could wear like a dressy tuxedo, like a white suit.
Right.
It means to look polished, and whatever your interpretation of that is. Please don't wear sneakers.
Right.
Please don't wear jeans.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like put some effort in and dress up for us, but you don't have to be formal.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And there's a huge gray area there.
It is. Yeah.
You could also wear long, but the difference there would be you're not wearing a train for cocktail.
Right.
You could wear flowy, but I would wear your hair down.
Yeah.
And I would wear like fun jewelry, not like your diamond necklace.
Right.
If you should have one.
If you should have
one. Or
yeah.
a faux diamond necklace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so what does cocktail attire mean for men? Because
that's
as most of our listeners know, you're not only dressing yourself at a wedding, but you're dressing your plus one usually.
Right, totally. I would say cocktail for men means no tie.
Okay.
To me, that's no tie.
Yep.
Formal is tie.
So like a suit, a nice crisp shirt. But no tie.
Correct. You also don't have to wear a white shirt.
Right.
That could be like a navy jacket and a blue shirt. It could be a pink shirt and a white jacket. Depends on the event. When I say there's so many variables, it's like, okay, are you in cocktail at a beach?
Right.
Are you in the city? Are you in Italy? Like, because all of those things weigh in.
Right.
Because cocktail, when you're in Italy on the Amalfi Coast, like you should wear a print.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Lean
but
in. To me, cocktail, the type of clothes don't change based on the venue. Just the fabric will change.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Like a man can wear a linen suit if it's
1,000%.
cocktail at the beach or whatever. But
cocktail for a man, you wear a jacket.
Yes.
You wear a jacket. You can wear khakis. You can wear trousers. You don't have to wear a full suit. I find Rodger's go-to for cocktail is a suit with no tie.
Yeah.
And like driving loafers or something.
Right.
You know, it's like a drop
a
down.
nicer shoe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. that clears that up. Now, what does black tie or formal mean when it's on an invitation?
Okay, so black tie means tuxedo.
Means a tux.
Black tie is a tux. Now, I do think there is some room for guys to wear a black suit with a black tie and not a bow tie.
Right.
So I do think you can do that.
Yep.
When it's black tie, Rodger wears a tux.
Yes.
Okay. He has worn a 3-piece tuxedo with a black silk tie.
Sure.
You know? So I think, but black tie is your most formal.
Yep.
Formal.
It's the Great Gatsby.
Correct.
Yeah.
Formal is a full suit and tie.
Yeah.
For a guy.
Yep.
For a woman, black tie means full gown.
Gown. Long.
Not short.
Right.
You're not wearing
Not
short.
midi.
No, but you can wear midi if it's fabulous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can, because there is like
No midi sundress. Like
correct.
midi
Correct.
actual.
Like sequins or sparkle of sorts, beaded. A very dressy dress does not have to have a train necessarily, but you are your most dressed, whatever that is. Like even if you look back at the Great Gatsby, a lot of those were
Right. They were midi.
Midi.
Right.
So yeah, but it just means not short, in my opinion.
Got it. So black tie.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. In LA, I see short for black tie all the time. So I also think it depends on where you live.
Yeah.
In Paris, in London, in Europe, you're not wearing short to a black tie.
Right. Yeah.
California, I mean, I have literally seen people wear jeans to a black tie.
Ooh.
Yeah, it shook me up.
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
So when you see black tie, you go full gown.
Yeah, full stop.
Yeah.
I am in a gown for a black tie, for sure.
Exactly.
I also think it's a great way to like look at it as like a moment. You know, like how often do you get to do that? I mean, some people more than others, of course, but like it's a moment. And I would say formal is one notch down from black tie.
Yeah.
But again, like I put formal in Sky's bar mitzvah invitation, and like some people will be in dark suits, some people will be in tuxes, some women will be with a train, some people will be cocktails. So like, I think formal gives you a little more room for interpretation, but the idea with formal is please dress up very much.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Be dressy.
Yes.
Okay. Other than wearing white, what do you think are some don'ts or wedding guest faux pas that you've seen in your life?
Anything that reads bridal.
Yeah.
Like anything that reads that sort of like lacy.
Yeah.
Like don't wear a pink lace gown.
Yep.
Like a blush pink lace gown.
Yeah.
I have seen someone wear like a beautiful Dolce gown with a train to a wedding.
Yep.
It's a bridal gown that happens to be blush pink. I think that's
Little
not very
close.
nice.
Little
you know?
close.
But
because I will even ask sometimes what the bridesmaids are wearing.
Yeah, totally.
Because I've had an experience that I come looking like a bootleg bridesmaid because I'm wearing, you know, a navy whatever, and they're in navy too. So I think that for women, you should ask that too.
I agree. I mean, I think the more information you have about the bride and what the bridal party is doing, the better served you are.
Have you ever heard don't wear red to a wedding?
No, I have not.
I saw that recently online. Yeah.
Why?
To avoid wearing red at a wedding?
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it calls too much attention to yourself, or maybe it's bad juju. I don't know. But I saw like, oh, don't wear that. It's red. You shouldn't wear red. And I was like, oh,
that's wild.
That's interesting. So maybe avoid white and red.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't heard that. But I mean, yeah, I guess it does call attention.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess red does
and
call
maybe,
attention.
You know, in a good way and in a bad way. So
Right.
I kind of get that. Okay. You were talking about this earlier, but opera gloves are very much back on the red carpet.
They are.
And they're back in the bridal world.
They are. But I don't think they ever left. I think it's so chic.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I guess they left. They come and go. But I think I always see European brides wearing gloves. But I'm very strange about bridal things because that's where like my classic traditionalism comes out, because
Yeah.
that day to me is not a trendy day. It's not a day to fall victim to what's trending. It's really like when I think about anything bridal, whether it's the wedding or anything else, what are you are going to look back at these pictures for the rest of your life.
Yes, forever.
What are you going to love forever? And not everybody knows that. But I think you go to the Grace Kellys of the world. Like,
Yes.
you go to those iconic, like, Kate Middleton moments, and
Yep.
you look at, like, what are your most iconic favorite bridal moments in history?
Yeah.
And pull off that.
Right.
If that resonates with you. Because you also could be Gwen Stefani and wear, like, a gradated pink
Right.
Vivienne Westwood, which was epic.
Right.
And it was
It was
her.
a bit rock and roll.
It
yeah.
was. And that's true to her. And by the way, like, she's still like that. So
Totally.
I kind of feel like you have to be true to you and whoever you are at the core. But I guess my point is, think long and hard about it. I'm also very traditional about rings.
Right.
Because they're forever.
Yep.
And so when it comes to forever things, I'm very, I would say I'm traditional in that
You're
weird
trend
way.
averse.
I really am.
Did you know from going back, was Amber Valletta wearing opera gloves in the image you saw of the gown? Or
No.
was that something you wanted to add?
I don't believe that she was, because it was red.
Okay.
So when
Right.
when I asked him to make the dress, the part I left out was he said that there was only 2 in the world. There was the one that he made for the cover of Vogue.
Okay.
And then one that he made for, like, a queen of somewhere in
princess.
black. Literally, like a queen or princess of something that he had made in black. And I said, well, okay, can it be done in white?
Yeah.
And that's when I was put on hold.
Got it.
And so,
He had to scurry around.
Yeah.
Did you always envision wearing the gloves, or did you add that?
The funniest thing is
'Cause you wore a tiara,
in
too.
hindsight, I love tiaras.
Yeah.
I would wear a tiara every day of my life.
I know that.
This
but yeah.
is where I get super girly.
Yeah.
I love a tiara.
Yeah. And a veil.
A veil. And I put on my veil and I was like, I think I thought I was going to take it off. And then I started having fun and drinking champagne. And I, like, literally forgot to take off the veil.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
did
I
your
left
whole
it on.
reception with your veil on.
I think I forgot to take it off. But hey, you only wear a veil once, right?
That's my whole thing with it. It's like, I think women and brides do really beautiful things with, like, beautiful, like, hair accessories and crystally that, or like
I would do it so different now, though, babe.
what's the veil that's like the cap veil?
The one in
talking
front.
about? Yeah.
No,
but like the short ones that are like very
I
like
forgot the name of
40s
them. It's,
retro. But like doing
I
something
wore
like
one to the
that.
Mad Hatter in Texas.
Right.
I loved it.
Like Reese Witherspoon in
Yes.
in
Yes.
oh my gosh, the Bride movie we love.
Oh,
Sweet Home Alabama.
Thank you.
That kind of veil. I think you should just do it. Because again, when else are you doing it?
wear a veil.
Yeah. Wear the gloves. Wear the tiara.
Wear the tiara, wear the gloves, wear the veil.
Yeah.
I
If
think-
that feels right for you. Because
Yes.
again, you have to look back to your point.
But if you're questioning it,
yeah,
just do it.
just do it. Okay. Love that.
That's when else are you wearing gloves, a tiara, and a veil?
Yeah, never. Unless you like.
Well, unless you get married again.
Yeah. Or you're an actor and you dress up a lot.
Yeah, but in hindsight, I should have spent a year looking for my dress.
Yeah.
Like, not that I didn't love my dress, but like if I was doing it now, that dress looks so different.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. For sure. Okay. So you're a guest for a wedding. It says cocktail. What are some of your go-to brands that you would suggest for people to look as wedding guests?
I mean, listen, it's all about budget, right?
Yep.
But I have to say, I have
Let's
helped.
say you have 4 in a summer and you are on a tighter budget.
I have to tell you, I have helped so many people find dresses for weddings. I have also, I don't know if you know this, but one of my clients is my sister Pamela
Oh, yes. I did know that.
and my mother. But my
Dare
sister,
I say your 2 most challenging?
yes,
Yeah.
But my sister is always on a budget, and she has found some incredible dresses. And I think because of the wonderful thing we call shopping on the internet.
Yes, yes.
There are so many incredible resources to find your dream dress, and then search around at different sites to find the dress.
Yeah.
And my
Price
sister,
compare.
yes, and so many things are on such sale, and all these things. So you can get dream dresses at great markdowns.
Yeah.
At any time, because wedding guest dresses are pretty seasonless for the
Sure.
most part,
Sure.
depending. But I love ALC.
Yeah.
ALC is great and ranges in pricing. Show Me Your Muumuu is excellent.
Yes.
On a budget or not. They have incredible like sparkly dresses. They have great guest of. They have great bridesmaids dresses. Show Me Your Muumuu is incredible and so reasonable.
Right. Yep.
I would say Zara because I love Zara as a go-to. The problem is there might be a lot of other people at the wedding wearing the dress.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
There's that brand Bronx and Bunko, I believe it's called BANCO.
I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Revolve is a great resource
Yes.
for guest of wedding dresses.
I'll say your office, our team is also big fans of shopping on the Real for something vintage.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I want to talk about that.
That's a fun game I play with some of my colleagues.
Yes.
Mainly
Real.
Kiki. Shout out to Kiki. We'll search on the Real for stuff for each other.
No, Real's amazing because you can get your dream dress and be great to the environment at a great price. Shoes as well, and jewelry and bags. Also, Rent the Runway and places like that. Janet Mandel here in LA, New York, Chicago. There's a lot of people that have rental houses now for events like this because especially in your late 20s, mid to late 20s, you're rolling with the same group of people to most of these events. You don't want to wear the same dress every time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I think there's some grace for repeat.
Totally.
But ideally you want to wear it once
You
and bring
don't
it
want
back.
you don't want the friend group picture to look the same at everybody's wedding.
No.
Because everyone's wearing the same thing. No, those are great. Those are great options. I also love that brand, Staud.
Yeah,
They've
Staud
got
is
really
great.
cute guests. And I think they do a little bridal collection.
Staud is great. I know the founder. And then also Cult Gaia is
their stuff
unbelievable.
Gorgeous too.
But it ranges in price.
It does.
It really does range in price. And I find a lot of these designers start in the twos and go up obviously way higher. But I think you can get a beautiful dress for
for the price you're looking for sure.
Yeah. There's something for everyone.
Okay, let's leave the listeners with some bridal inspo.
Okay.
So we were talking about Sophia Richie's wedding
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
Which if you didn't see it, you might be living under a rock.
You are living under something.
But she was married at Rachel's dream location.
Yes. Hotel du Cap in the south of France.
On the French Riviera.
God help me.
She wore a custom Chanel.
8 of them.
Multiple. Yeah, she had
Multiple.
And she was just the most
blushing,
fresh,
beautiful
bride.
To be honest, I think the thing that was so epic about Sophia, and listen, I've known Sophia since she was 3 years old. She is a wonderful, kind, sweet, beautiful girl, woman, young woman, now married and about to have a baby. But she approached her wedding the way you dream to, which is blissfully happy.
Yeah.
She's madly in love with her husband, as one should be. But there was an overall tone to her wedding weekend, which was this very like Bardot on the French Riviera. But more importantly, there was an effortlessness to every single look she wore.
Yep.
And I think that was clearly her intention, I think, was to not be this fussy, uptight bridal looks.
Yeah.
I think it was really meant to be historical, classic, obviously very French for French Riviera.
Yes.
Chanel all over the place. And it was magical. And it was
stunning.
Flawless, really flawless. And I think it was the most talked about thing.
And how cool and sweet your dad can like serenade you on your wedding day.
Casual.
Love it.
Lionel Richie. Yeah, Lionel sang to me on
obsessed.
my wedding day. I actually think I
You
might have been
wish.
styling Lionel Richie when
You,
I got married.
you did work with Lionel,
I
didn't you?
That's how I met Nicole.
That's so funny.
He's the nicest man on the planet.
That's so funny. There's no one you don't know. Okay, so who were some of your other like bridal icons? I mean, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy
Listen.
was a whole movement, I feel like, in the 90s, minimal.
Carolyn Bessette Kennedy.
Also wore gloves, didn't she?
I think she might have worn gloves with
I'm gonna Google
her
it right
slip
now.
dress.
I'm pretty sure she did.
But I have to say, the thing about Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, may she rest in peace, because still one of the most tragic things to ever happen. But She literally,
Yeah, she wore sheer gloves.
yeah. And
So beautiful.
the thing about Carolyn Bessette, she's everything I'm not. And I think that's why I was so obsessed with her and her look, because it was like barely any makeup.
Yeah.
The most simple, beautiful bride of like it's just iconic.
Stunning.
And I think she was iconic in the polar opposite way of like, you know, when we saw Kate Middleton with her train, as long as
I was
like
going to say it's the juxtaposition of like they are American
Yes,
royalty,
it's true.
and to have such a simplistic,
Yes.
classic,
Yes.
clean,
yes,
minimal
yes.
look and feel is cool.
And it also,
it's just cool. Like
also, don't forget at that time, I think it was late 90s, was also the Kate Moss era.
Right.
And Kate Moss would wear like a John Galliano or a Calvin Klein, you know, slip dress with
Right.
her hair just like she
Thrown
woke
back.
up.
Yeah.
And beautiful little kitten heels or whatever. And
yeah,
like that's it. Mm-hmm. And like a sheer gloss. Call it a day. Or a red lip, a matte red lip, you know?
So beautiful.
And so epically beautiful. But I think those are iconic moments. I think when you think of Grace Kelly, I know
Grace
I
Kelly.
do. When
Yeah.
I think of Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
When I think of
well, and Grace Kelly, I mean, you were at Paris Hilton's wedding.
yes.
And that
Yes.
Oscar de la Renta was very,
magnificent. Yep.
it looked to be very inspired by
It
Grace
was.
Kelly.
And Fernando and Laura Kim
Yes.
designed that for Paris along with so many of her other looks that night. And I was there and she was legitimately flawless. She
Yeah.
was the most beautiful, like happy,
Angel.
glowing angel of a bride. And that dress was absolute perfection. It was a dream. And it was a Grace Kelly moment. And
Yeah.
that's, by the way, that's what she was going for. And truthfully, like, I couldn't have imagined a more perfect moment for her.
Yeah.
Like
Stunning.
what she should look like, you know?
Stunning. Okay, I'm going to close it out with this question for you. Who in the world of entertainment or pop culture or fashion or whatever has not been a bride yet that you're excited to see as a bride one day?
Zendaya, I think she's going to have a moment of moments.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the train would be Cathedral Lane.
Because I mean, you do get the sense with her that she really loves it and appreciates
Well, yeah.
going for it. So
You
maybe
don't
she
go
would.
for it at every turn if you're not
Yeah.
enjoying it because it is too much work.
Yeah,
It is too
It's a lot.
much
it's a lot.
work.
And yes, to answer your question, I don't think Sienna Miller's ever been a bride yet that I know of, but
She will be your hair
my muse,
hero. And
my
your
hair hero
muse.
forever.
Oh, I pulled a picture of her recent blonde for you.
Oh God, I love her blonde. She's good.
Sienna is our ultimate cool girl.
Ultimate cool girl. Okay, well, I hope we were able to impart some knowledge, wisdom, help on everyone who is trying to get themselves dressed and, as we mentioned, their partners dressed for wedding season coming up. So good luck out there. And, you know, like Rachel said, don't wear white. Just don't wear white.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, everyone. I hope this episode helped answer some of your wedding fashion questions or provided you with a little inspiration. Thank you so much for listening to Climbing in Heels. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the iHeart app, or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a single episode this season. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Rachel Zoe and the show at Climbing in Heels Pod for the latest episodes and updates. I will talk to you soon. Mwah.